Hey everybody, how's it going? I hope you had a decent holiday. We're going to go over what happened last week that we predicted, what the things that we actually predicted happened last week. A few weeks ago, we were watching several upcoming watch dates. One of them was Tuesday the 18th, you might remember, which ended up being a synagogue attack in Israel. And as you can see in this video that I uploaded November 20th right here, in this video, I added the 22nd as a watch right here, along with the 7-day period after that. And that was all based on the Tuesday the 18th event that occurred. You might remember that. You can go watch the video if you don't remember. But it was also based on this dream I had in February of 2014. It says right here, I could not remember the whole dream. I said I only remembered it was something about the 22nd day of a month, 7 days, and 2 bombs. That was connected to that Tuesday the 18th thing. We were talking about it 2 weeks ago. What ended up happening was there was a 6.7 quake in Japan on the 22nd, and during that 7-day period that we were watching after that, there were 2 bombs that went off in Nigeria exactly 7 days after Tuesday the 18th. This is a report of the Japan quake right here, the 6.7. You can see the date right here, November 22nd. And this is the report of the 2 suicide bombers in Nigeria on Tuesday, November 25th. And there was also a bombing of the British Embassy in Afghanistan, November 27th, which was Thanksgiving Day. So that could be the 2 bombs that the dream in February referred to. That 7-day period after the 22nd, something about the 22nd, 7 days and 2 bombs. That's what the dream was. I'm not sure why I dreamt of that, but there it is. It happened after I dreamt it. Again, another fulfillment. Okay, so again, why I don't know, but it may have been referring to what occurred right here on the 29th. So 7 days, the dream was something about the 22nd, 7 days and 2 bombs. So the 2 bombs happened during the 7-day period, and the exact 7th day from the 22nd was the 29th, when the Pope's envoy was in Bethlehem on that day. This is the news article from Reuters right here, the 29th. The Pope's envoy to the Middle East arrives in Bethlehem on that day. And that was also the exact anniversary that the UN partition plan was voted to establish the country of Israel in 1947. And this year, that anniversary, November 29th, it does start the 3.5-year period before the 70th anniversary of when that commandment went forth, when the state of Israel actually began its nation, May 14th, 1948, 6 months after that commandment went forth. That's how it's described in the book of Daniel. So that's a very important 70-year period right there. And we've talked about that below. For more information, check the links below this video. So again, the Pope's envoy was in Bethlehem that day. So standing in the holy place. And also on that day, it was announced that the Palestinians will present another resolution to the UN for the creation of a Palestinian state, which is beyond sad, that they should not have to beg the beast to get their own land back, land that was stolen from them by the UN. The Antichrist, the little horn, is Israel. The Bible tells you straight out. The horn of Israel. Look it up. Google it right now if you don't believe me. And if you don't, then you don't want to know the truth. That's the truth. Israel is the little horn, what some people call Antichrist, set up by the UN beast forcing the natives out of their home. That is what happened. And all of the world is worshiping the beast and the Antichrist right now, just as predicted by the Bible. And there the false prophet was in Bethlehem, his harlot envoy in the holy place, right there, as predicted by the Bible, right on the anniversary of the beast proclamation that they would set up shop on that ancient land. I want you to understand where we are right now. We are in Daniel's 7 years right now. I've proven it. Check the links below. Now, for those of you that have been with me this whole time, please understand, I need people to hear this. They're not hearing it. They're not getting it. I know you guys get it. I know you're hearing me. I know you've been with me all this time. But I need those people to get it. I need them to receive this information because we are down to the wire right now and no one is listening. I've proven it all, okay? If you don't understand that Israel is the little horn Antichrist, if you don't understand that the UN is the beast, please check the links below this video, okay? I explain it all. I prove it all. I've been proving it for years. The Pope is the Lamb who speaks like a dragon. He is actually the 8th king right now. The Pope that is ruling right now is the 8th king. The person that is running the UN right now, the Secretary General, he's also the 8th king. We're in the 8th king mentioned in the book of Revelation. We are in the 8th king right now of both the UN and Vatican City, which is the beast and the harlot mentioned in Revelation 13. Wake up, please. The asteroid is about to hit. That is what is about to happen in the midst of Daniel's 7 years. So again, I don't have time to answer questions in the comment section. I've answered all the questions in the links below. Your questions are answered in the videos that are linked below. Okay, so that's what happened right here on the 29th, and my dream is what clued us in to watch that date. There it is. Okay, we were also watching the 40 days from Kim Jong's reappearance because every 40 days since our June watch date, a significant event has occurred. On our June watch date, the ISIS massacre occurred. On our exact watch date. 40 days after that, the Islamic State destroyed Jonah's tomb. 40 days after that, North Korea's leader Kim Jong went into seclusion. Nobody knew where he was. And 40 days after that, he came out of seclusion, which was just a few days after Sony Pictures delayed the release of the movie that was mocking his assassination that he's threatened nuclear war over. And right after that most recent 40 days ended, from when he came out of the 40-day seclusion, right after this, Sony Pictures was hacked by North Korea, but by what many believe was North Korea. And on that same day, the Ferguson verdict was released. Now, if you think that's a coincidence, I'm going to show you right now it wasn't. The Ferguson verdict was read at exactly 8:15. Right here. That is not a coincidence. We were talking about 8:15 last month and its connection to Asia. Now we have them reading the Ferguson verdict at 8:15. On the 40th day, Kim Jong came out of seclusion. So for those of you that don't know, the bomb was dropped on Hiroshima, Japan at 8:15 in the morning. Then shortly after that, the Disney movie Peter Pan was released. And in that movie, the children fly away to Neverland when the clock is at 8:15. And then in recent years, Disney's television series Once Upon a Time tells a story about a clock that was stuck at 8:15 in this cursed American town. And at the end of that first season, it closed with purple smoke engulfing the town and the clock at 8:15, which represents the Hiroshima nuclear holocaust. There's no question about it. So that verdict released at exactly 8:15 occurred right after the most recent end of the 40-day patterns, and on the same day North Korea hacked Sony Pictures. It's all connected. They are purposely igniting racial tensions in the United States right now. It's on purpose. It's not an accident. All these things going on in the media right now, it's not a coincidence. It was orchestrated. Okay, this is a list of the 40-day events here. The first two had to do with the Islamic State attacks, and the next three involved North Korea, with the third coinciding with the timing of Hiroshima, which ignited riots in the U.S. on the same day. So the next 40 days will end at the beginning of January. The exact 40th day is January 3rd, but the pattern has shown so far since June that sometimes the event will happen the day after. And since the biblical days start in the evening, and also to compensate for the international 2-day window, we have a 3-day window for that watch, January 2nd through the 4th. And like I said, the past ones have had to do with Korea and the Islamic State. So that's another watch on our calendar now. And I also put December 17th as a watch because it's the 3-year anniversary of Kim Jong's father's death, which this year falls on the first day of Standard Hanukkah. So that's a watch. And then obviously, you already know we'll be watching Christmas Eve and Christmas Day this year because of this pattern here that has been playing out for the past 4 years. Christmas Eve is a fire watch in one of these places on the chart. So I'm guessing either Russia, Alaska, Scotland, UK, or Hawaii this year, or it may tie into one of these places of the past 3 years, DC, New York, or Connecticut, or maybe even Sicily. So that's a guess based on the patterns that have played out for the past 4 years. Also, in the Southern Hemisphere, on the ancient calendar, they would be observing Shavuot if they observe the ancient calendar, which is the wheat harvest. And they would be observing that. True Shavuot in the Southern Hemisphere occurs on Christmas Day this year. And that's also the date the Kim Jong movie will release, the one that he's been threatening about. And also true Shavuot aligns, that 3-day window for true Shavuot aligns with the 40-day meteor shower pattern this year as well. If you have questions about why it's a 3-day window, please watch my video, Ancient Calendar. It explains all of that. And then also next week is the ancient calendar date for the start of Noah's reign in the Southern Hemisphere. So the Northern Hemisphere, Noah's reign, which is the true 17th day of the second month. That occurred in June this year. That was our big watch date. That was when the Islamic State Camp Spiker massacre occurred. That was in the Northern Hemisphere. The true 17th day of the second month, the start of Noah's reign. That was in the Northern Hemisphere in June. And the true start of Noah's reign in the Southern Hemisphere, the true 17th day of the second month in the Southern Hemisphere, will happen next week, the 8th through the 10th. So that's another watch period as well. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to give you an update of what is happening on our watches and what's coming up. If you have any questions about anything I said in this video, please do not ask me in the comment section. Please, before you do that, check out this playlist right here, Bible Prophecy Fulfilled 2009 through 2012 and What is Next. Please check that first. It's linked in the description below any of my videos. Just click on Show More below the video to open up all the links. And there are many other links as well. Just a lot of people are asking questions about things I've answered many times, and unfortunately, I don't have time to respond to each and every person's question. So please, if you have a question about anything or you disagree and you want to hear the argument, check the videos I've linked in the description here or read the ebook. That's why I compiled this information in a playlist and an ebook so you can examine the arguments presented in an orderly fashion. So I'm out of time. Thank you to everyone that's being supportive. I'll talk to you soon.